What was the best thing about being in prison? What was the worst?
I reckon the best thing was being free of responsibility from the world and its spiraling drama.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it was, you know, and we're in such an age where everyone has to care about everything.
Yes.
You have to care about this, you have to care about that.
Yeah.
But when you're in jail, you're just like, well, what can I do? You know what I mean?
Your world's much smaller.
Yeah, your world's a lot smaller. And also, you're around a lot of people that you don't morally agree with, you know, and you're not going to. Like, I've had chats with guys that are, like, fucking as racist as it gets.
Yeah.
It says shit that would make a SJW melt, you know what I mean? And I tried to chat with them about being racist and try to get through to them. And they're not going to change. It's not my responsibility to do that. So you just kind of learn to not, like, people have their opinions, you know what I mean? And what are you going to do? Oh, well, that's not right, you know, like, what can you do?
So what do you mean that's not right? You killed 6 chicks.
Exactly.
So you're wrong.
Yeah. You know, and there's a lot of things that, you know, you're morally confronted with.
Yeah.
Heard lots of shit. I was just like, well, but then you just learn not to care, because otherwise you're just doing yourself, you're just hurting yourself for the sake of other people, you know.
There are a lot of people that really do that. Like, I think there's, you know, you can't not care about shit.
Yeah.
But you can't care about everything. I did a joke about it, I think, in my 3rd show of, like, you can't care about everything, because if you did, you would just live a sad, horrible, stressed life, because you can't fix everything.
No.
You can really care about properly care and act on maybe 3 things.
Yeah.
And 2 of those things should probably be your life and things that are for you. And then you have time for a cause. Yeah. That's what I think anyway. Because otherwise you care about 35 things, you're not helping any of them, and your life is shit.
Exactly. And I've been in that, like, I'm a very empathetic person.
Yeah.
And I really like to pay attention to issues in the past. And then, you know, and even the reason why I punched the guy is because I was so frustrated about vandalising venues. I can be a very passionate person, and look where it got me. You know what I mean? And so I guess one of the best things was just being free from that responsibility. You know, what can you do? You're just in jail. So, and everyone in there's like, you realise, like, a lot of people have it a lot harder than you. You know, like, I was so lucky to get a lot of fan mail and from people that supported me, and there was one guy that hadn't had a letter or a visit in 16 years.
Fuck,
you know, and
that's sad.
Yeah, and so you just like, you learn that to not dwell on your problems, you know, and it's so interesting getting out now, and I see people that are like, oh, this is happening and this is happening and this is happening, and it's just like, yeah, but you're choosing to go down that spiral of drama and exaggeration and making it such a problem. Yeah. Where, you know, like, I was hanging out with one bloke his missus is cheating on him. He can never see his kids. His parents both died while he's in jail, and he's still walking around going, well, I'm living the dream, mate. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like, because if you're in there and you start dumping your problems on other people, then that creates tension and you're just going to end up fighting, you know? And so generally, it's a very positive place in many ways, because everyone is trying not to focus on the fact that they're stuck in jail away from their loved ones.
You would have to be positive, otherwise you'd go nuts. Yeah,
exactly. You would, yeah. If you sit like, and if you start sulking and just sitting in your cell, everyone will start being like, oh, he's sulking. You know what I mean? And I watched a lot of fellas come in and they're shook and they're just like, you know, they're hating on it, and then people get that wind of that and they'll start stirring them up for it, and just makes it worse for them. So the best thing you can do is just suck it up and get on with it, you know.
Well, I suppose it's when your freedoms are taken away from you, you really learn what you can control. I suppose. Yeah,
and you have to learn how to control your emotions, you know, because otherwise you just send yourself crazy.
Well, that would be the only thing that you would, other than where you can go, that would be like the only thing that you're almost 100% in control of in there. Yeah. It's just you and your reactions to things. Yeah. Whereas when you have like unlimited freedom, it's very easy to disregard what you can control, I suppose, because you could do it. You could do anything, and often it feels like shit is out of your control because there's no like rules.
Yeah.
So you feel you can feel like you're out of control because everything is just so free.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah.
I think that's what really freaks people out is the feeling of not being in control because so much shit's going on. It's hard to realize that they are 100% in control.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very true. And yeah, it's kind of like you think it's like going in and you kind of you're worried about losing that freedom of being in control, but coming out is just as it's kind of more anxiety in that sort of sense.
Yeah,
I definitely probably feel weirder coming out than I did going in, because all of a sudden it's like, oh, I have to be in control again. It's not all control for me. You know, you follow this routine, and you don't have to worry about anything really, apart from getting along with people and not getting in any drama.
Yeah.
And everything else is sorted for you, and all of a sudden you're back out and you're like, oh, and it's just option paralysis because, you know, you're just a bit like, well, what do I do? I can do anything. I'll just sit here and feel anxious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and like, you know, some people might think 9 months is a long time, but from being in there, it's not very long at all compared to what other fellas are going through. And yeah, so I can really understand how a lot of people get institutionalised when they've been in there for years and years, and they enter the system when they're 18 years old and they're still not fully mature and make a lot of mistakes. But by the time they're 25, they've done so much that if they slip up or do anything wrong, they're bombed back into jail. And then when they're, you know, all of a sudden they're 30, and when they get out, they'll have a panic attack because it's all they know, you know.
Well, yeah, if you go in at 18 and you get out at 30, like your whole adult life is prison. You don't know what real life is, really, because before that it's school.
Yeah.
And then you've never had real life, you just had prison, and then you get out into the real world and you're 30.
Yeah.
So you should also be a pro at the real world.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be hard.
You still haven't grown in the world.
Yeah.
And so I find with a lot of like guys that have been in there for a long time, you can tell that not immature, but they're mature in there, but still they haven't done a lot of things that a lot of adults' responsibilities people have to deal with.
Naive to what the world is, I suppose.
Or just the responsibility of being an adult, you know, or what society assumes that we need, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an interesting one. So that's definitely the most I kind of learn out of it.